Gotcha.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Monster Hunter World video. This is Thegameconomist, and today I want to update you all on the new events that are coming out for Monster Hunter World in November and December. Most of you obviously know that the winter event is going to arrive on consoles and the PC on November 29th. Seasonal events always include unlocking all of the previous events that have been rotating bi-weekly in the game. That means you're going to have time to go back and farm up anything you might not have had time to collect in the past. For example, both USJ events are going to be available, which means you can go farm up the valuable Azure Star-Lord armor set. Then if we take a look at the consoles, there will be a new event called Timberland Troublemakers, which you'll use to gather the materials needed to make the new Bristly hammer. This is the Christmas hammer, right? We already know that this new hammer isn't going to be a high-tier hammer at all, so it's mostly just for some winter fun, and you can pair it with the new Orion layered armor. Of course, you don't want to use the actual Orion armor because it is terrible for some reason. The consoles also have a new event called King's No Fear, which rewards the player with the sealed eye patch layered armor and the Wiggler helmet layered armor. That's a pretty big deal in terms of fashion because it means you can finally run around with the Wiggler helmet all of the time, and it's probably not assuming too much to guess that we'll get another event in the future that rewards the Kulu Yaku head layered armor as well. My question for Capcom is, why are you drip feeding this stuff to us? All of the armor in the game should already have a layered version of it, and I don't know, it could just be a really hard to obtain reward. Like the layered armor could be hard to obtain, could be a new end game reward. I don't see why they are keeping so much of the armor locked basically in terms of layered versions of it. Even when you fight a new Arch-Tempered monster, you don't actually get that new Arch-Tempered monster's gamma armor as a layered set, and that's very frustrating for me. Especially right now, Arch-Tempered Zenjiva, his armor set's really cool looking, but it doesn't matter, I'm never going to wear the whole set. I'm always just going to wear parts of it. You guys know what I'm talking about. This has been a problem since the game launched. They've been really stingy about the layered armor. We are finally getting the Wiggler layered armor, so everyone can rejoice to that at least, but honestly, it's just very, very stingy the way they've done this. Okay, and then other than those two events, all of the Arch-Tempered monsters become available again, of course, so if you missed any of their armor pieces, now's your chance to go back and try to get them. Hopping over to the PC has a lot going on in November and December as well. Based on what we can see in the event schedule, you can see that the winter seasonal event will make Kovtiroth available once again, which I know is going to be a big deal over there because she has so many valuable weapons. It really does take a while to farm some of the meaningful ones out of her RNG pool. But also the PC gets Lunastra for the first time, which is why I just did an armor review for her alpha and beta armor set. So if you haven't seen that, go give it a look. And you're also going to be getting Arch-Tempered Kieran for the first time, which is just an insane amount of content to be releasing at the same time on the PC. So you guys are actually in very good condition. You guys are going to have your hands full for all of November and presumably December. Part of this has to do with the fact that they're trying to get all of the DLC onto the PC as fast as they can, and I know they were doing a lot of work to fix bugs on the PC, and from what I understand, they're mostly done with that. So now they really do get to just focus on getting you guys the rest of the content and getting you guys caught up with the consoles. And I actually applaud them for doing that. There's a lot of games I play where the consoles trail the PC, and the developers never fix that gap, that time gap. So you always see the PC players getting the content first, and the console players get the content like a month later, and it's very frustrating because by that point, all the videos on YouTube have already been made, and all the content's less fun, if you want to think of it that way. Like, for example, Arch-Tempered Zenjiva just came out, and you guys just get to watch us play rather than playing it yourself. It's not a very good system. If you're talking about providing for the community a good experience, you get two parts of the community get to play Arch-Tempered Zenjiva, the third part just gets to watch. It's almost like being punished by a timed exclusive, and I've always been against that kind of timed exclusives. Are terrible, guys. So you guys are going to be caught up, and then who knows what's going to happen after that. Hopefully they get a lot more content out. It is definitely a content drought that we are in. So I'm probably going to be making an armor review for the Kieran Gamma set, as well as preparing some great Arch-Tempered Kieran counter builds that are going to be accessible on the PC, while you guys wait for those events to become available at the end of November. Until November 29th rolls around, it looks like things are mostly going to be quiet for the PC, whereas the consoles at least get to play around with Arch-Tempered Xeno'jiiva. That'll last for a while. He's been a nice break from the content drought, but even he may not be enough to keep the player base engaged, and the seasonal event really doesn't offer any new endgame content for the consoles other than what we've already played, so here's hoping that Capcom reveals a DLC very soon. I think they will, but probably not before they announce Arch-Tempered Nergigante, and they haven't even done that yet. At least now we can have hope that Arch-Tempered Nergigante will be as fun as Arch-Tempered Xeno'jiiva has been. Alright, that's everything I have to say. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.